Hi, it is Erin with Entrepreneurs with Erin, and today we have Andrea. I should ask her if it's Andrea or Andrea. Andrea King with Anywhere But Here Travel, and she'll be joining us in just a moment. Today is my 20th episode, and so that's kind of a big deal. Yay me! And I'm just messing around with the lighting. It seemed a little bright, but that doesn't work so well. Okay. Hey Jen, welcome. So she's been doing this for a while. Hey Nancy. She'll be on just a minute. She'll be watching, and then I can add her in. She works out of Linwood. Hey Sarah. I got a lot of people. I look so glamorous. Yes, I was inspired by a little like kind of 80s like punk rock a little today. What do you think? Oh, there you go. Add. So I'm inviting you to join Andrea. Whole business, and she's been doing it a while. So I think, hi, thank you. I think she'll have a lot to share with us. Hi.
Okay, I figured it out. Yay.
Hey Monica, look, Monica's with us too.
Hey, Money.
So first of all, I realized I didn't know if you were like an Andrea or an Andrea or an Andrea. Number one.
It's a common mistake, but it's totally okay as long as you call me on time for dinner. It's usually my rule, but it's Andrea.
Okay, Andrea. Yeah. Perfect. That was my first instinct, so I should have gone with it.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing travel?
Well, I started travel in 2004. I mean, I've been traveling, obviously, almost all my life. But I started travel as an employee in 2004 and then moved on to my own business in 2018. Or excuse me, 2008.
So 10 years.
10 years, yeah. Actually, it'll be 10 years in March. So I'm super excited.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
That's my fireworks for you.
I like that.
And
yeah, that's good.
What drew you to travel? Like, why travel?
Oh, man, why not? It's one of those situations where I did a lot of careers, not a lot, but I did some careers previous to this that were really super stressful careers. So, I worked in the legal field. I watched people, just pretty much kill themselves to have that job done. And I got to a point where I wanted to do whatever it took for me to live my life to its fullest and feel like I was doing something really great and sharing that with other people. And travel really just fell in my lap. Like once I made that decision, it was very shortly after I moved to Washington. It just kind of fell in my lap and I was like, okay, I'll try this on. Let's see what happens. And it just felt right. And so ever since I knew that's where I belong, is in the travel industry.
Perfect. And what is like your top one or two or three, if you can't narrow it down, like places to travel? Like what have been your favorite travel experiences?
So Italy is my number one. I don't see that changing anytime soon. When I started with the first company I worked for, they were Italy specialists. And I should say Europe specialist, but I ended up being the Italy specialist. And so, starting off selling Italy with not have been there, and then going, like having that first time travel experience there. The second that happened, I was absolutely in love, and I cannot seem to break away from that. So, just going into Tuscany and, looking at the hills and drinking some wine and, really just, I look at Nancy, I love Italy. Yay. So, I could talk about Italy forever and I'm going to try not to. So, but I just absolutely love everything that there is to offer in that country. The history, the people. The people are amazing. Oh, and by the way, if you had Italian food.
Personally, like you say Italy and I'm like, nom.
I know. You start salivating. Yeah. So there's just, everything about it is just so amazing that I can't stay away, It's like my travel drug, if you will. I cannot stay away from Italy.
All right. Well, now we know everyone is gonna like. We all want to go to Italy right now.
I love it. I
Um,
know.
so what? You need a caprese. Okay. So what? What can I? What have you learned? I guess that you've been doing this as your own business for 10 years. That's a nice chunk of time.
Yeah.
You know, what have you kind of learned on the different stages? You know, beginning and middle, and now that you're a veteran entrepreneur, what can you tell us about that journey?
Um, let me say first, I don't consider myself a veteran entrepreneur. I mean, yes, I have been doing this for a while. And even before this, I mean, I started my own business when I was 14. So I have been an entrepreneur for a long time, but
Okay, pause.
veteran
What
is
did
hard
you do when you were
to
14?
say that
What's
again.
that? What did you
Oh,
do
what
when you
did
were
I do?
14?
So
Yeah.
I managed my boyfriend's band, which, at 14, that's, something that happens. And I obviously did not take it seriously at first. I was, the cute 14-year-old trying to get bands into bars type thing. But it somehow it was like an accidental business. I did a really great job at it. So it was super fun. And I did that all the way up to actually until I was about 21. And I had other things in between, but I did that for quite some time.
That's so cool.
But it was super fun. I was born and raised in Las Vegas, and so that's where I did that. So it was also very hard. It was a hard life for a while, watching really wonderful things in that industry, but also some really scary and terrible things. So I got out at the right time. We'll say that, yeah. But I will say the one thing that it's such a great question, Erin, because what have I not learned? Like I have learned so much in my time as an entrepreneur. I mean, from relationships, like not just business relationships, but personal relationships. And I would say the one thing that really kind of hits home for me is it's not about money. And maybe that's just me, but it's not about money. Like the relationships I've built, the people that I've met, and mainly the people that I've been able to help have, amazing honeymoons, whether they're extravagant or whether they're, really watching every dollar, have been incredible. The experiences that I've been able to give to people because of my education and just, travel and expertise. That's what gets me up in the morning every day. And so when I finally did learn that really the money part is at the absolute, I don't want to say the bottom, but it's not a priority over all of these other things. I would say that's actually when I started to see and feel the most success.
Yeah, I think that's when you're doing it right, that's how it feels, right?
Yeah.
Like, you do need to earn some money to survive and all that
Absolutely.
stuff. But as far as the business, it's all about making connections, hanging out with people you like, helping them helping you. And, if you happen to be able to help them with some travel, or I can help them with some skincare, or Pauline can help them with her movement last week, like, great, that's what it's about. And like, the money is just sort of the sort of financial interaction that just happens to happen while we're helping each other out.
It does. Absolutely. It happened. And I will say with that said, and in that line, it's also okay if it happens. Like, there's one thing to be an entrepreneur and have values that are different than money, but it's also okay to make money. Like, you have to make money to feed your business. Like, I could not do this every day if I didn't have the money to, feed myself and my family and my employees and such. So also knowing that it's okay to be successful financially and not, almost feel bad.
And I think that's a great point. Especially I think as women, sometimes we feel like we're not supposed to want money. We're not supposed to want success, and that it's true. Okay. Yeah. It's okay to want to earn that money and to be driven.
Absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of, look at Trisha Melvin's on. Hi, Trisha.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you have going on? Like, what kind of special activities? I know you have the Secret Travel Society. Do you want to share about that? Or do you have any other new kind of things coming along that you want to share with us?
Yeah, I could share a little bit about Secret Travel Society, but not too much. So the Secret Travel Society, that's right. again, I kind of mentioned like my core, my values, everything in me is I want to share and give people great life experiences, whether that's through travel, whether that's through just hanging out with friends, whether that's, staying locally, domestic travel. And I have found specifically entrepreneurs, just career minded and driven men and women, they have time to do, fun things and such, but it's the planning of it that they don't seem to really either have time to do or want to do, but they do want to go out and live.
Yeah.
They do want to go out and have fun. And so with the Secret Travel Society, we've taken the responsibility of planning all of these events and planning fun, and we do it for you. And so as a member, you get access to our calendar of super fun events, great experiences, and then of course eventually a couple of my members found out last night where our October trip will be. So even with that, they'll get some really great, super fun, couple week long international trips out of it as well. So just a really great, it's just a great society to be a part of if you love life, if you want to live it to its fullest, and if you love to travel.
Yeah, I like how you put it that, like you're outsourcing the planning. Because I know I get that way where it's like, oh, I want to, do something with, especially when it's with my family, involving other family members. And it's like,
Sure.
Oh, but the planning, right? Like, oh, I have to book that. Oh yeah, I have to. My brother just called me where my mother's having her 70th birthday this month, and we're going to take her to Teatro Zanzani. And luckily he took over the planning because, but yeah, like
it's a lot.
I hear that. Especially for a busy professional person who's like, I'm busy in my life, and when I'm off, I just want to go do the fun thing. I don't want to have to then sit down and plan the fun thing to do later.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm the same way, by the way. I mean, a lot of this is for me too. Selfishly, I had to start this so that I would actually plan fun events for all of, the people in my world, but also for me. So I get out and go do stuff too. So it's, it is a very, like you said, Teatro Zanzani, that's actually kind of a planned event, but there's still planning around it that needs to happen. And I'm sure if that was on your plate, you'd be like, wow, gosh, it ends up being a lot of work. You should definitely thank your brother for taking that on.
Thanks,
That's right.
Wonderful. Well, do you have any last little tidbits, words of wisdom, or things to share before we sign off?
Well, I'm glad that you asked about the Secret Travel Society. My biggest thing would be, for anybody who might want more information, just to go to the website, secrettravelsociety.com, and check that out. And I'm always open to talk about travel. So that's one thing I want to say, if there's someone out there who wants to travel, regardless if you think, you can afford to use a travel agent or not, just give us a call. Let me at least have that conversation. I mean, Erin, we spoke, very briefly yesterday. Like, I love travel, so I'm not going to turn you down to talk about it. So just keep that in mind. And thank you so much for asking me to do this, because I appreciate you sharing me with your people. And look forward to, speaking more about travel whenever I have the chance.
Yeah. So if anybody has any questions, as always, put them in the comments. And if you want to watch previous episodes, I'll put the link to the YouTube channel as well. Thank you, Andrea.
Okay. Bye.